With global tensions continuing to reach new heights, it's natural to wonder about the militaries who are rapidly preparing for war. When it comes to technology, there is one place where innovation never sits still. That is, of course, weapons technology. Nothing moves the economy quite like war, folks. A rifle is an infantryman's best friend and constant companion. Their very lives and the lives of their comrades depend on the rifle to be accurate and reliable in do-or-die situations. Now more than ever, there's a variety of fantastic rifles available to the militaries of the world, although some are better than others. So which military rifle is the best? Let's dive in. Number 10. At number 10, we have the EF-88 Aussteiger. Its predecessor, the Steyr AUG, was developed by the Austrians in 1977 and made history when it became the first bullpup-style rifle to be put into service in a modern military. Many militaries around the world have adopted it, but it found a real home in the Australian Defence Force, or ADF. First being put into service in 1989, the AUG replaced the M16 and the L1A1 as the main rifle of the ADF. Since 1989, the AUG has been repeatedly improved and upgraded, and the current version in use by the ADF is the enhanced F-88 Aussteiger. Though many generations of the rifle have come and gone, a few pieces remain the same. It's still a bullpup design that has selective fire capabilities, still fires a 5.56 NATO round, is short-stroke piston-operated, and fires from a closed bolt. The barrel is also made through cold hammer forging, similar to how the SCAR rifles are made. This process prolongs durability and allows for more resistance to wear and tear. The enhanced F-88 weighs in at about 7 pounds when empty, has an overall length of 31.5 inches, and a barrel length of 20 inches. It has a 30-round magazine capacity and can fire at a rate of around 850 rounds per minute. Although the soul of the weapon remains the same, it has received significant upgrades over the years, making it even more reliable, accurate, and customizable. Its latest version, the enhanced F-88, has a redesigned stock, a trigger guard, and receiver, making it lighter, more comfortable, and easier to use. In addition to this, the top rail has been lengthened and additional rails have been added, allowing the user to customize the rifle with the technology or attachments necessary to complete a variety of missions. A grenade launcher can even be fitted to the bottom of the weapon for an extra dose of firepower. And if the mission requires stealth, the ADF has been continually improving the silencers used on the EF-88. Known globally to be an accurate and reliable weapon, the only knock against it seems to be a slow and heavy trigger pull. Overall, it's loved by the ADF and many other militaries around the world. Number 9. Moving on to number 9, we now have the SIG MCX, produced by none other than Sig Sauer. This rifle was initially rolled out in 2015 and is now used by many police and special forces units around the world. The MCX comes in a variety of weights and lengths based on the different options for the barrel lengths. The standard barrel length is 16 inches, with the total length varying from 35 and 40 inches, and the whole thing weighs about 8 pounds. Very light and versatile, it features a short-stroke gas piston system that reduces recoil and improves reliability. Users can also convert the rifle to fire different calibers of ammunition. The standard version is built to fire the NATO 5.56 rounds, but it can be changed to fire the 300 AAC Blackout or the 7.62 by 39 mm. These conversions are easy enough to do that they can be performed in the field if needed. The MCX also comes with a 30-round magazine, has a fire rate between 800 and 900 rounds a minute, and an effective range of about 550 yards. Highly customizable, the rifle is able to be outfitted with all the attachments and optics an operator will ever need on its top rail. If stealth is required, the MCX can be equipped with direct thread sound suppressors, which maintain the performance level of the rifle when suppressed. This is a big advantage for special forces units, as no washers or other stabilizers are required. Hailed as accurate, reliable, and easy to use, it's a great rifle for any operator, especially praised for its accuracy and reduced recoil even when using a suppressor. The only negative people seem to have with it is the skeletonized stock that's available on some versions of the rifle. People claim it's not very comfortable, but this varies from user to user. The MCX has many variants for both civilians and military users and is continuing to grow in popularity. In 2022, the SIG MCX Spear was chosen as the new rifle for the U.S. Army, officially named the XM7. The future is bright for this rifle, but for now it's still being tested to determine whether or not it meets the Army standards before it's issued to soldiers. Number 8. At number 8, we have the Heckler & Koch HK416. This formidable rifle is currently used by the German Army, the Norwegian military, the United States Marine Corps, the Irish Army Ranger Wing, as well as the French military, who has selected it to replace the domestically developed FAMAS. Production began in 2004, and it's seen ferocious combat all over the world. Its real rise to fame, though, happened after the gun was used by SEAL Team 6 to kill Osama bin Laden in 2011. The HK-416 utilizes a gas-operated short-stroke piston with a rotating bolt and fires the standard NATO round of 5.56. It also comes equipped with a 30-round magazine, weighing in between 8 and 9.85 pounds when fully loaded, and between 28 and 40 inches long, depending on the barrel length you're using. It's a lightweight and portable weapon that's also highly customizable. Instead of just having a rail on top of the rifle, the HK-416 was designed with rails on all sides of its barrel. This allows users to attach a variety of accessories and optics to the rifle, including all the ones that work for an M4. It also supports a grenade launcher attachment such as the M320. Similar to multiple rifles on this list, it also comes with a cold hammer forged barrel. The gun has mostly positive reviews, with most users finding it reliable and accurate. But as with anything, there's always a few issues. Some operators found that using polymer magazines instead of the standard metal ones caused occasional jams. Luckily, this is easily correctable by using the right kind of magazines. The other issue people complain about is the price. This semi-auto civilian version costs around $3,000, not cheap when compared to its counterparts. We can only imagine that the full auto-capable ones being used in the military and police forces around the world are even more expensive, especially once you factor in the optics and the accessories required. The old saying, "you get what you pay for," certainly applies here. If you have the cash, you will get a great firearm, or just join the Marines and you'll get paid to shoot it. Your call. Number 7. Looking ahead at number 7, we have a newcomer on the scene, the KS Carbine. The KS-1, or Night Stoner Carbine, is an AR-15 style rifle that was selected in 2022 to replace the L85A2A3 and the L119A1A2 that were being used by special operations units and elements of the British Royal Marines. This rifle is still being rolled out and tested, so expect more improvements in the years to come. The KS rifle comes in a few different varieties based on barrel length. The most common version is the KS-1, which features a 13.7-inch barrel and shoots, you guessed it, the NATO 5.56. The rifle also features a highly efficient direct gas impingement system and a rotating bolt. Weighing in at about 7 pounds and measuring between 32 to 34 inches, the KS-1 is on par with many other modern rifles. It's currently only available in semi-automatic, so its fire rate is based on the user, but its effective range remains similar to other rifles on our list at about 550 yards. Like the HK-416, it also has a cold hammer forged barrel that's ready for the rigors of modern combat. The KS-1 also comes with a top rail for various optics, including a Wilcox flip mount on every rifle, which allows the user to engage targets at a variety of distances. The suppressor that it utilizes is of a flow-through design, which means all the gas from the round being fired is sent outward, not back at the shooter. The pressure reduction technology it uses decreases the sound of the rifle firing by about 12 decibels, as well as reducing the flash it creates. Unlike a lot of AR-15 rifles, the KS-1 is fully ambidextrous, so not only can users fire the rifle from their dominant side, but in the event of an injury or incapacitation, the user can switch to the other side. Great in theory, but how many ambidextrous shooters are there? One advantage of the rifle pointed out by the Royal Marines was that the weight distribution was greater in the front of the weapon versus the back, as it was in previous rifles. This allows users to handle the weapon easier and gives them more flexibility. So far, it seems as though it's a dependable and intuitive rifle that'll serve the armed forces of the UK for some years to come, but time will tell if it measures up to its first impression. Number 6. Number 6 is the MKE MPT-55, a Turkish rifle that was designed in 2009. The MPT-55 went into production at the beginning of 2014 with a design somewhat based on the AR-15. Though mostly used by the Turkish military, it's seen use in multiple other militaries and police forces in Europe and Africa. Throughout its service life, it's proven its quality amongst Turkish troops, as they carried it into battle in conflicts across the Middle East. The name MPT is an acronym in Turkish, but in English it translates to National Infantry Rifle. During the design process, the Turkish army made it clear that they wanted a rifle that would be durable and reliable at all altitudes and in all weather. So far, it seems that the final product has exceeded those expectations. It uses a gas-operated rotating bolt action, similar to that of the M4 and M16. In terms of weight, it matches most of the other rifles on our list, at 7.9 pounds without the magazine and measures 37.5 inches overall. Light and agile, the rifle can handle both rural and urban combat. Unsurprisingly, the MPT-55 shoots the NATO standard 5.56 and comes equipped with a 30-round magazine. It's accurate up to 550 yards and has a rate of fire between 750 and 850 rounds a minute. Similarly to the KS-1, the MPT-55 is also ambidextrous and customizable with a rail system, so it's friendly to optics as well as iron sights. The rail system even allows for an under-barrel shotgun or a grenade launcher attachment. This versatility can make the MPT-55 a huge asset to any rifle platoon seeking versatility and reliability. Popular amongst soldiers and policemen alike, it's often praised for its accuracy and reliability, especially in adverse weather conditions. On the other hand, it is fairly long, so it might not handle as well in close-quarters combat as some of the other smaller rifles. It's got mostly positive feedback from its users, but one thing to note was that due to the manufacturer being on the smaller side, it might be harder to get parts if you're outside of Turkey. This stands in contrast to the global reach of massive brands like Heckler & Koch or Sig Sauer. That's not to say that getting spare parts or fixing broken ones is impossible. It might just be more difficult than when going with a rifle from one of the giants of the firearm industry. Overall, it is reliable and a deadly firearm that'll be used by the Turkish military for many years to come. Number 5. Coming in at number 5, the formidable FN SCAR. The Special Operations Combat Assault Rifle, or SCAR as it's commonly known, is a beast of a weapon. First produced in 2004, it's currently in use in 20 countries around the world and is a favorite of many special operations and elite police groups. It saw extensive combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as many other conflicts globally. It comes in two versions, the SCAR Light, which fires the NATO 5.56 round, and the SCAR Heavy, which fires the larger 7.62. Like other rifles on the list, it also features a gas-operated short-stroke piston and a rotating bolt. The two versions are very similar statistically, but there are a few differences. The SCAR Light has a higher fire rate, 650 rounds per minute, while the SCAR Heavy has a longer effective range at 660 yards. The SCAR Heavy also has a smaller magazine, only capable of holding 20 rounds, whereas the lighter version can hold 30. There's not much difference in weight or length between the two either, with the SCAR Heavy weighing in at 7.9 pounds and the SCAR Light weighing in at 7.3. The difference in length is only 3 inches in favor of the SCAR Heavy. Both versions of the SCAR have a top and bottom rail for optics and tech, as well as iron sights that a lot of users say are first-rate. They both also come with a folding stock, and while other rifles have those as well, it adds to the versatility of an already dynamic firearm. Users can also attach a grenade launcher to the bottom, specifically the FN40GL. The drawbacks are few, but the main ones are the wear and tear it puts on the optics and the price. The SCAR is known to be hard on cheaper, more fragile optics because of its recoil, especially with the heavy version. The price is also a major pain, as the civilian version is close to $4,000. One can only assume that a fully decked out Special Operations one is even higher, but if Uncle Sam's footing the bill, go for it. For small governments, militaries, and police forces, this is probably a little outside their budget, at least on a large scale. The SCAR is legendary for its ruggedness and reliability in combat. No wonder it's a favorite of some of the most elite combat forces on the planet. Number 4. Moving on to number 4, we have the Tavor TAR-21. It was designed by Israel Weapon Industries to replace the Galil M16 and M4. In service with the IDF since 2001, the Tavor family of rifles, specifically the TAR-21, is currently on the ground with Israel's soldiers in their war against Hamas. Besides the IDF, the TAR-21 is currently used in many smaller militaries around the world, such as Honduras and Thailand. Unlike most of the other rifles on the list, the TAR-21 uses a long-stroke piston system and a closed rotating bolt, similar to those used in the AK-47 and the M1 Garand. Although there are many variations of it, the standard issue weighs at just over 7 pounds and measures 28.3 inches long. Its shorter length allows for better maneuverability in close-quarters combat, aided by the bullpup design, which offers a more balanced weight distribution, reducing fatigue during lengthy engagements. That is great, but if you're switching to it from a more traditional AR-style rifle, it might take some getting used to. Like many other rifles, it has a rail system that allows for optics or other attachments to be added based on the user's preferences. There's also a variant that accepts an M203 grenade launcher known as the GTAR-21. It fires the NATO standard 5.56 round from a 30-round magazine at a rate between 750 and 950 rounds a minute. With an effective range of about 600 yards and ambidextrous capabilities, the Tavor TAR-21 is a deadly and versatile assault rifle. It isn't for everyone, though. The price alone makes it a no-go for smaller groups or governments. The vents are also located right beneath the shooter's face, so as the fight goes on, users end up continually inhaling gases or even ejected debris from the weapon. This problem can be made even worse when suppressed. The Tavor TAR-21 was designed to conquer the adverse conditions on the battlefield and maintain its status as a durable, reliable, and easily maintained rifle. Overall, it's a solid weapon that will stay in service for years to come. Number 3. Number 3 takes us all the way to the other side of the globe, to the ranks of the People's Liberation Army and their main rifle, the QBZ-95. The rifle came out of the ashes of the Gulf War, where many Iraqi soldiers were using Chinese-made weapons. Their incredibly rapid defeat sent Chinese designers back to the drawing board, recognizing that they needed a rifle suited for a 21st century battlefield, something to allow the PLA to remain competitive on the world stage. Introduced in 1997, it's a short-stroke piston, gas-operated rotating bolt assault rifle with a bullpup design. Part of the unique design is its striker firing mechanism, meaning the hammer, firing pin, and the bolt are all one piece. While this allows for easier maintenance, it's also brought on some mechanical problems for the rifle. The QBZ-95 weighs in at just over 7 pounds when fully loaded and measures 29.3 inches in length. It also has a 30-round capacity magazine and an effective range of about 440 yards with a fire rate of 650 rounds a minute. With selective fire capabilities, the QBZ-95 is a versatile rifle capable of handling any situation. It also comes in a couple of variants, including a light machine gun and a carbine version. It's also the first rifle on this list to shoot a caliber exclusively used by a specific nation, being loaded with the Chinese military's unique 5.8 by 42 mm round. As this ammunition is produced in China and the details of the process are kept a secret, not much is known about it. Chinese experts estimate that it might be slightly better than the 5.56 ammunition due to its greater energy output from the extra gunpowder contained in the cartridge. Given that China has not fought a serious war since 1979, the 5.8 by 42 mm round is yet to endure trial by fire necessary to give detailed feedback about its performance. So for now, we'll take what the experts say at face value. The QBZ-95 is another rifle on this list made with an ambidextrous design, which is a definite plus, but it's received negative feedback for its clunky trigger pull and lack of customization options. On the upside, the QBZ-95 can shoot rifle grenades and is manufactured with a mount for the Chinese-made QLG-91B grenade launcher. Overall, the QBZ-95 is a capable and lethal battle rifle when in the right hands, but time will tell how well it fares in a prolonged heat of battle. Number 2. For our number 2 spot, we have a modern take on a genuine classic. The AK-12 is the modern version of the timeless AK-47. Did you really think we'd leave the AK family off the list? That would be like leaving Monet out of the Impressionist Museum. The AK-47 was created right after the end of the Second World War and became the standard for assault rifles for years to come. From the jungles of Vietnam to the mountains of Afghanistan, the AK proved time and again that it's accurate, deadly, and reliable enough to take a beating and still come back in swinging. Its most recent version, the AK-12, is currently seeing combat in Ukraine with the Russian forces there, but also various other Eastern European countries. Like the TAR-21, the AK-12 uses a gas-operated long-stroke piston with a rotating bolt and also comes with a cold hammer-forged barrel. It's about 37 inches in length and weighs between 7 and 8 pounds. Although the standard rifle is equipped to fire the most common caliber round found in Russia, the 5.45 by 39 mm, it does come in a range of variants that are able to fire a variety of other common rounds used by modern armies. The AK-12 comes standard with a 30-round magazine, but higher capacity magazines are becoming available as well. It can shoot at a rate of 600 to 800 rounds a minute with an effective range of around 550 yards. It's equipped with an upper and lower rail system, making the rifle customizable and versatile. It can also support an under-barrel grenade launcher known as the GP-25 or GP-34 that shoots a 40 mm grenade. People will struggle to find much wrong with this rifle, but some of the main complaints are that when it's loaded down with accessories and gear, all that weight can cause fatigue to set in faster. Not really a complaint unique to the AK-12, but it is worth noting. The only other knock against it is the availability. Russia is currently keeping most of them for their own military and that of their allies or regional partners, so don't expect to see one in your local gun store anytime soon. The AK family is a fan favorite, and the AK-12 will prove to be no different in the years to come. Known for its ability to handle harsh conditions and require little maintenance, the rifle carries on the AK family legacy of being about as tough as they come. Number 1. Rounding out this list at number 1, we have the formidable, battle-tested, and deadly workhorse of the US military, the M4. This might not surprise you, but there is a reason this rifle well and truly deserves the number 1 spot on the list. The M4 has been the US military's primary rifle for over 2 decades, as well as seeing service in many other countries around the world. Developed in the 80s and 90s, it began to gain traction with soldiers after the Battle of Mogadishu, when many Rangers complained that in urban combat, the M16 was too long and unwieldy. After that, it saw widespread use in the War on Terror, as well as other smaller conflicts in every corner of the globe. After proving itself for many years, it eventually went on to become the main rifle of the US military. Shooting a 5.56mm round from a 30-round magazine, the M4 is a lightweight carbine that uses the Stoner gas system as well as a closed rotating bolt. Like many other rifles on our list, the M4 is also equipped with a cold hammer forged barrel, weighing in at 7.75 pounds when fully loaded and measuring 33 inches long. It's light enough to be carried into combat with a full pack without fatiguing its users. With an effective firing range of 550 yards and a maximum fire rate of 970 rounds a minute, the M4 allows the shooter to be efficient and accurate in both short and long-range situations. Its next-generation variant, the M4A1, sought to build on its predecessor and features a fully automatic fire rate, a more consistent trigger pull, steel or polymer magazines, and a heavier barrel for improved accuracy. The M4 is also very customizable, with many options available to the user, including a range of optics, attachments, M320 grenade launchers, as well as the Master Key and M26 mass shotguns. While the M4 is a favorite among most soldiers and Marines, it isn't without its issues. The shorter barrel was the source of some complaints, with some claiming it impacted long-range accuracy. The shorter barrel is also prone to overheating during prolonged firefights, further impacting the rifle's accuracy the longer the battle goes on. Soldiers also noted that the older aluminum magazines can dent rather easily, leading to them not functioning properly. They also said that when fighting in places with a lot of sand, like Iraq and Afghanistan, the rifle requires near constant cleaning and maintenance to stay in fighting shape. The M4's Bulldog design has well and truly stood the test of time, with many weapon designers being inspired by its design, leading to a slew of modern weapon designs borrowing parts of this iconic rifle. On top of that, its decades of combat experience cannot be overlooked. Tried and tested, the M4 is truly a great rifle that will continue to be used all over the world for a long time. Tell us if you disagree with our rankings in the comments below. Then check out Evolution of the AK-47 rifle, or watch M16A2A4 versus AR-15. How do they compare, and what's the difference?